welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing my go-to glam look. So I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite foundations, my favorite concealers, literally everything go-to. Always wanted to do like an in-depth makeup tutorial for this, so to be finally able to do this is so exciting. First thing we're going to go in with is my Huda Beauty powder. I like kind of setting my brows with a little bit of powder before I go in with them and start filling them in. I'm going to go in with a little bit like this. This is about as close as we can get with each other, but you can tell my eyebrows, you know, they're not perfect. The eyebrow pencil that I'm going to be going in with is the Morphe eyebrow pencil. This is in the shade Java. I have been using this shade for as long as I can remember. To be more precise with my eyebrows, I like going in with a little eyeshadow palette to be able to use the mirror. So we're gonna go ahead and go in, and I like to start off at the front and then work my way towards the back. Since this eyebrow has less hairs than this eyebrow, I do have to fill in a little bit more in here. I like to make sure that they're able to connect, and then since I have a big mirror behind y'all, I always look back at it to make sure that it's like actually lined up. Now we're gonna go in with the next eyebrow. Same thing, we're gonna start off at the front very lightly and then work our way towards the back whilst getting a little darker. Ride or Die concealer is the Hourglass Concealer in the shade Beech. You guys, this concealer does it all for me. Literally everything. So we're gonna go ahead and carve our eyebrows with this. The brush that I use to carve out my eyebrows is this little brush that I got from a set at TJ Maxx. As much as I did say I wanted to invest in better brushes, I have yet to find a brush that's going to carve out my eyebrows like this one. So I like to get just a little bit on the brush. And it's a little bit hard to focus this. Again, I'm going to get my small mirror and we're going to just trace the bottom basically. Okay, I have to say we're having a pretty good eyebrow day today. Make our way towards the back. Okay. I do feel like a tail is longer than the other, but that is okay. I always go in with primer, which I share these all the time on my TikTok, but it is the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Primer, which got discontinued and then got brought back. And then I like to use the One Size Secure the Blur to hide my pores. When it comes to application, I get about that much to really put it all over the face. There, cure the blur, just like that. You might not be able to tell, but the pores are blurring, are they not? Step is foundation. I have raved about this foundation so much. Bury me with this foundation. This is a Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I am in the shade 6.5. When I tell you this foundation just snatches everything up, it leaves your skin feeling moisturized, but it leaves your skin feeling so good and it makes you look amazing, like Gorgina. This is my girl. This is my foundation. Sadly, I can't use her every single day, so I'm also in the works of finding a foundation that I can use every day. But that will be a different talk for a different day. I love to go in with the Morphe M439 brush. This brush just does it all for me. I can't even get into it with it. So we're gonna put about, say about that much. I'm gonna dab, dab, dab. Start getting into it. You guys, so you know it's barely February and it was Groundhog Day on yesterday. LOL. It was Groundhog Day yesterday, and you know the little groundhog predicted that we were gonna have 6 more weeks of winter. But tell me why it is almost 80 degrees in Texas. Like what? Weirdly enough, I am a summer baby. My birthday is June 2nd, and I honestly always hated summer. But I am coming to grow and like summer now. I think it was because when I was younger I was a little chunkier, and I wouldn't feel comfortable like wearing like strapless stuff. But anyways, just thought I would share the fact that, you know, it is hot outside right now. Make sure everything is nicely blended. The Hourglass Concealer in the shade Beech. And I honestly kind of go crazy with the concealer. I know some girls, they only do a little bit, but it honestly just depends on what kind of glam we're going for. I sometimes let it sit for a little bit, sometimes I don't. I currently don't have a favorite makeup setting spray, but I have been really liking the Urban Decay I have been liking the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is the watermelon fruit extract. It has hyaluronic acid. I will say the purple one, I used to use that one all the time in high school, even though it made my skin a little greasy because it felt greasy. But when I tell you this setting spray does not feel greasy at all, and it actually like melts everything, leaves you hydrated, and leaves like it brings it together. So we're gonna do a little spritz of this. I think the spritzer's messed up because I feel it coming like from the top, from the bottom, from like everywhere. On the day, I might use a brush to blend in my concealer, or I will use a beauty blender. Today, I think we're gonna go with the brush. See how it just blends seamlessly? This concealer is just so creamy. Oh, I did forget one thing. Placement for the concealer. I also place it on my eyelids so they don't start like creasing by themselves. And just another seamless one. Okay, I'm gonna blend in like this as well. The eyelid. Oh my gosh, guys, I feel something coming into my eye. Oh god. To make sure everything is nicely blended out, I still go back with a beauty blender and just push everything in, just so we can have that seamless base. I have always used the Wet n Wild contour stick, but I bought the Morphe one a couple months ago and I am loving this one. But then I'm also really liking the e.l.f. bronzing drops, not the bronzing drops, the e.l.f. bronzing stick. So we're gonna use a little bit of both. I will say the Wet n Wild one has kind of become a little bit harder to like blend in, so it's a little bit harder to kind of just bring onto the skin, while the Morphe one is pretty seamless. So this, just watch. Like, it glides beautifully. To do my nose contour, I do always do the beauty blender because it is a little bit easier compared to the blush. And do y'all see? Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful and seamless. It's gorgeous. Now, when we're getting into the e.l.f. drops, or the e.l.f. contour, just watch. I do one little dot. Okay, that's actually a lot. You're gonna see why. So we're gonna do it a little bit lighter on this side. Okay. Just the forehead, very lightly though. To blend in the bronzer contour by e.l.f., I do use the Real Techniques brush. This is the Real Techniques 200. So just watch how crazy. Like, girl, it looks like I just put poop. No. Do not fear. We are going to blend. I remember watching the videos of the beauty gurus back in like 2014, 2015. They're like, blend. So you see how it kind of came down to here? That was not what I intended to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back with the foundation brush. So see, when you do a little bit of a lighter dot, it's a little bit easier to control. Again, remember, if you mess up like your contour or you mess up your blush, you can always go back with what you used to put your foundation on, and that's how you can get a better grip with a liquid blush. I have two liquid blushes that I am completely obsessed with. One of them is going to be the Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. This is in the shade Hope. Let's take a focus. This is in the shade Hope. While I also have the Say Beauty liquid blush, and this is in the shade Cutie. These two blushes are just, I absolutely adore them just as much as I do the Hourglass Concealer. But today, you know what, actually, we're doing our makeup to take some pictures for Victoria's Secret. And I am gonna go ahead and use the Hope liquid blush. I do one little dot and then I do one at the nose. Start blending. Just look at how pretty. Oh my gosh, it's like that one TikTok. Look at how pretty. Look at how pink and pretty. You know what? Since we are taking pictures, this is actually one of the pieces that I got from Victoria's Secret. We're going to, might add a little bit. Actually, no, it looks pretty good. We're gonna move on to powder. I go in with the Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder by Charlotte Tilbury in the shade 2. But before I even start putting it on my under eyes, I go back in and blend everything out since we've been working on the other parts of our face and not on the under eyes. I have to make sure that they are not creasing. Such a pretty palette. I like to go in with my e.l.f. little powder puff. I also originally started with the mini powder from Sephora because I wanted to try it out and see if I actually liked it, and then I absolutely loved it. I even hit pan on my mini one. We're gonna go back in with the Huda Beauty powder. This is in the shade Cherry Blossom if I didn't mention it already. Under the eyes, make sure to look up so we're not causing any unnecessary creasing. Do another spritz of the Urban Decay. Always keep a fan on you. We're going to do the powder products on the face now. With bronzer, I love using the Physicians Formulas. This one's in Endless Summer. I used to use this in high school, and then I got back into it probably last year during the summer, and I was like, yeah, she knew what she's doing. Like, girl, look at this. Cannot do anything better, and it's from the drugstore. See, the only thing is, same thing with like the e.l.f. liquid contour. It gets a little bit patchy because, you know, you be going a little bit crazy. So, doing a little bit of powder, it's very pigmented. For blush, powder blush, when I use the Hope liquid blush, I like going in with the Milani powdered blush and Dolce Pink. Ooh, love this color. And just really want to get in there. Now if we want to make everything a little bit more chiseled, that's when we can do this. Greatest pet peeve than leaving foundation, powder, anything on my lips. So I always have to take it off. But first I always do my hand. These are just, what are these? These are the Burt's Bees Micellar Rose Water Facial Towelettes, 3-in-1. Got these at Walgreens one day. The lips. Perfect. Well, this is usually what ends up happening is the eyelids crease, right? So we have to go back and powder these babies down. Occasionally, I do go back with the bronzer that I use or with the blush that I use, and I just add a little bit of shadow or color to my eyelids so it's not left so white casty from what the powder blush, like from baking and stuff, looks. Oh. We can't have dry and crusty lips, so I'm gonna with the Laneige lip sleeping mask. This was from a Christmas holiday set that my friend Kathy gave me. We're gonna go in and go with the e.l.f. brow laminating gel. I use this all the time. I'm not gonna lie, at first I did not like this product. I didn't like the way it left my eyebrows, but then after using it a few times, I absolutely came to love it. Another thing, I never used to use this little brush head. I never used to use it. Until recently, I was like, this actually changes the game. Like, that looks gorgeous. Take a shot for every time I say gorgeous. Now we're gonna kind of just bring it together. It's lovely. On a regular day, I would use just my L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara with the Rare Beauty After. But today we're just going to use the L'Oreal Telescopic, and then we're going to put on some falsies. As I've gotten older, I see a lot of girls don't actually put mascara before putting on falsies. but I personally like putting the mascara on first because it kind of gives my lashes a base and something to kind of hold on to. These I'm going to be using today are going to be the ones that I mentioned in my last YouTube video, which they're in the style Athena by Diosa Collection. I'm very excited to try these. Again, I bought these at H-E-B, so if you live in Texas and these end up looking good, go buy them. Okay, let's do a little tester. Okay. The lash glue that I do like using is the Kiss Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe. What do we think? We're gonna go in is with the e.l.f. lip liner, this cream glider or cream lip glide. Next, we're gonna top it off with the Maybeline Super Stay. And that's our little lip combo. Dot of highlighter right here. We're gonna blend it out with our finger. Finishing look, I went ahead and put the little extra light so just so you could see how the makeup turned out, how the skin looks, how the lips look. And that's the end of our little go-to glam. Honestly, a lot of these are my favorite products. So if you like these, please, I definitely recommend. I will link all of the products below, the shades and the shades that I'm in if you're around my skin tone. But I hope y'all enjoyed this little video and catch me on my next one. Subscribe.